We just spent the last 3 or 4 days in the Chile side of Patagonia, and yesterday we made our way to El Calafate in Argentina, and the next few days will be spent on the Argentina side of Patagonia.
To give a recap on how we got here, we spent our last night in Chile ringing in the new year.
3, 2, 1, Happy New Year!
And then took a 5-hour bus ride the next morning where we crossed the border into Argentina, and eventually to El Calafate. We grabbed a pricey but good dinner last night.
We're eating things that we're unsure of what they are, but that's the fun of it.
And got a great night of sleep for the day ahead.
Today is so exciting. We are going on a glacier trekking experience, and this is just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where you can actually go onto the glacier as well as enjoying it from the boat. The glacier that we're going to be getting up close with is called the Perito Moreno Glacier. This year I feel like has been the year of glaciers for us, from Alaska, seeing quite a few glaciers there, to Glacier National Park, seeing quite a few glaciers there, and now we actually get to step foot on a very well-known glacier. But before we do that, I'm going to go make some breakfast, and then Kristen and I are going to walk down to a little coffee shop bakery down in the town and then come back up while Josh and Nate go and get our rental car for the next 2 days. And tomorrow's adventure is going to be just as amazing, so stay tuned for what we're doing tomorrow in this video. Gearing up to get onto this excursion, and we know any trip you plan there's going to be issues that pop up. So Josh and Nate this morning went to go pick up our rental car bright and early, way before the pickup time. Our excursion is really supposed to be heading out right now. Nate and Jeremy are about 15 minutes away still. So we're just hoping that they make it here, but if they don't, I guess they're able to drive the car to where we're going. If it's anything like the way the rest of the trip has been, they might be able to make it. They made it. I don't know how it happened, but they did.
Easily.
I heard you were going really fast.
Only like 140
kilometers. It is actually crazy. They got here and not even 2 minutes later, we're ready to go in the bus.
They will stop at kilometer 50. There is situated the entrance of Los Glaciares National Park. There is the moment to pay.
We are in Los Glaciares National Park. There's 3 main parts of this excursion. The first, which is where we're at right now, is a boardwalk to see an overlook of the glacier. The second part is getting on a boat and then riding the boat right next to the glacier. And then the third part is actually walking on the glacier.
We'll have to rewatch the Alaska footage, but I think we're almost as close as we were in Alaska. Erica thinks we're a lot closer than we were in Alaska, but this glacier is just huge. Like in Alaska, we couldn't see how far back it went. This one just keeps going for miles.
So this glacier used to be the entire length of the lake that it's attached to, and the lake is this really beautiful turquoise color because of that. I am so shocked at how colorful it is in all the different types of blues. Even on the glacier itself, it's like blue. It's not just white. My mind was blown when our tour guide said that this glacier is bigger than the city of Buenos Aires. How do you even fathom that?
We're doing our grocery store sandwiches from yesterday for lunch while watching for icebergs to fall off.
The sandwich is a 1.2 out of 10. The 1 is for just giving me energy.
Jeremy just pointed out that Eric and I basically went to back-to-back national parks that are called glaciers. Exciting glacier year.
Part 1 done. Part 2 boat ride.
Iceberg ahead. This breaker is breaking the wind.
On our way on this boat, we saw the people walking up the glacier, and that's literally about to be us. This is part 3 of this little glacier tour. We dropped our bags off, and now we're headed to the place where we're gonna get our helmets and our crampons. So we've been walking towards the area where we're going to be actually getting onto the glacier, and we just stopped in front of the flag, and it is absolutely unreal and beautiful, and we have a wonderful tour guide.
Hello guys.
He's been great so far.
This mass of ice is the southern Patagonia ice field. This is the North Patagonia ice field. Little 2 guys are the 3rd biggest mass of ice in the world. The first one is Antarctica, then Greenland, and the southern Patagonia ice field.
We have our helmets, and we're getting our crampons on. People are literally putting them on for us. How do they feel? Fancy. Never have worn crampons in my life.
Goober engaged. Just flopping around.
Going up there.
Send it to my dad.
Not even on the snow yet. How could you
The golden rule is feet wide apart, not too much. This is enough for you. This is enough. While we are walking, you must hit the ice just a little bit.
This is the coolest thing I've ever done. Look at this water. Look how blue it is. It's a different color blue I've never seen before.
So I found a piece of ice.
Wild. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love hearing all the sounds of the crampons going. We just turned around the corner and it's like a mountain of glacier. We are about to drink the glacier water.
5 years old.
How many years?
But I think this is the coolest thing we've done so far on this trip. Maybe the coolest thing we've done this year.
It's only January 3rd. It's so
That's deep.
scary.
Yeah.
A little scary.
He just said there's like 3 kinds of something that live in the glacier.
Kinds of
being
ants?
one of them.
Wow, a glacial ant.
A big wall of ice.
We're getting whiskey and chocolates to celebrate the end of the hike.
There was speculation that that would happen, and it is. We weren't sure. Honestly, coming into this excursion, we were like, we have no idea what to expect.
He said it was a surprise, so I don't think we were supposed to know, but I think our bus driver told us.
Yep.
He also said we're going to use the glacier ice in the whiskey. So this will be the first time our ice will be older than our whiskey.
There's literally a whiskey and chocolate station on the ice coming up.
Right, Erica?
I am not used to a whiskey straight up, so.
Wrong.
Oh boy. That's gonna be a problem.
Feliz año.
It's good.
I'll finish yours, Erica.
Nate's not making it down the mountain.
You don't have to drink it all.
You can dump it in that
Yes,
bowl.
I do. I paid good money for this.
For you to do this.
Crampons off, helmet off.
It's starting to trickle now. Again, perfect timing on this trip. We got our post-hike coffee, getting ready to hop on the boat and get burgers and
Cervezas.
and papas fritas.
Give me those papas fritas.
I knew she was gonna say that. Oh,
There are like some little seeds in here.
wait, but what is it?
It's a pin.
What? Oh, yeah.
It's an Argentina hiking pin.
Give us a pin.
All the travel blogs and vlogs will tell you to pack like super warm weather stuff. Do not forget the hot weather stuff as well,
Yes.
because it is nice and warm here.
It was like
In the
70
summer.
degrees. Yeah, in the
the summer.
It was like 70 degrees in town, and it was like 60 around here.
We're finally getting our burgers.
I'm getting a cerveza.
I got a guanaco burger.
All my Argentinian brothers in the comments write the correct phonetics.
Guanaco.
Messi, I know you're watching this. Tell us what it is.
Whoever gets closest to the correct pronunciation, we will send you a guanaco. Dang it. We will send you a steak of that animal.
That French fry is amazing. I don't know what the sauce is either, but it's pretty good. That's a good burger. Really? The toppings are good. The guanaco is a little maybe smokier, and I would say the guanaco is a little more gamier than
It has breading on
like
it.
beef. So it's more similar to like deer meat almost,
know
which
what that
kind of
is.
makes sense.
That guanaco burger is so good.
This one.
Red flag. We're still just mind blown at the fact that it's 10 p.m. and it's this light out. I don't know if we'll ever really get over that. And it doesn't even set until like after 11. So our brains are like wide awake, but our bodies are like, it's time for bed. This morning we got up really bright and early, like at 5 in the morning, and we got in our car and have made it almost to El Chalten. And we've gotten to the part in the drive with the beautiful Patagonia mountains of Argentina in the background. We're here. We've made it to the Patagonia. Here's the situation for today. Initially, all of us were going to be going to do the Fitz Roy hike, which is about 15 miles round trip and with another 3,500 feet of elevation. I wouldn't be able to do 2 of those in the same week within a few days. So Josh and I found a 10 to 11 mile hike with 1,600 feet of elevation to do instead that has very similar and rewarding views according to the reviews. Kristen, Jeremy, and Nate went on that hike. They started it off. Josh and I are about to get to the trailhead for the one that we're doing, which is called Laguna Torres.
We are currently at the only gas station in the town, and it is a shack, but everybody is here.
That is the gas station.
There's one pump, one guy filling up cars, and there's like 6 or 7 cars lined up because the next closest gas station is back at El Calafate. So we need to get gas here. We still have not been able to get Argentinian pesos, a little bit because of their economic crisis. So like none of the ATMs have cash in them. But I was like, do you accept credit? And they're like, no. And I was like, shoot. And I was like, do you accept US dollars? And he said, see. And so I was able to pay with US dollars. Luckily I had them. So make sure if you're coming to El Chalten, you have cash on you, whether it be USD or Argentinian pesos.
This is the trailhead to Laguna Torres. The day we did our 14-mile hike in Torres del Paine National Park, I got a notification on my Fitbit that said I did 40,000 steps, and that wasn't even at the end of the day. Oh, that was probably the most steps I've ever taken in a day. We are off to see Laguna Torres in Fitz Roy, Argentina.
Earlier in this trip, we were looking at a bush with the berries on it, and we're like, wonder if those are edible. I wonder what those are. And we later found out that this is a Calafate bush. It has little like prickers on it and some berries. Don't know if they're edible or not. I would assume no, but it's cool because we're in El Calafate, and I'm guessing that town is named after this bush, or vice versa.
It's absolutely beautiful. So far, it's starting off very green and lush with lots of rocky mountains. Honestly, we don't really know what to expect much on this hike, but when we were looking, the top 2 hikes in this area are this one and the one that the others are doing. And a lot of people said that this one has really rewarding views throughout the entirety of the hike. This terrain is definitely different than what we've seen so far. Very rocky, very hilly almost, hilly mountainous. And I'm still obsessed with the trees that are in Patagonia. They're my favorite. We just peeked around a little walkway and we're greeted by the actual mountains of Patagonia here. And it's so beautiful. The towers are hidden by the clouds right now, but I'm really holding on to hope that the clouds will kind of dissipate later. Oh my gosh, I love the mountains. I will say, we are like the only ones on this hike right now. We've reached the 2.5 kilometer marker, and it kind of pops out into the view of all of the mountains, and then there's just this massive glacier with a glacial lake in front of it. That's a wall of a glacier. That's not even...
It's hard to tell because it goes into the clouds. But
I would be so curious to know the difference in size between this and the one that we walked on yesterday.
I think, I mean, don't quote me on this, we can look it up later. I think this was where the glacier used to be, however many thousand years ago, and it looks like it receded. So this whole area is pretty flat, and now it has a bunch of trees and stuff, probably from the glacier water that melted away.
Someone just said this is good to drink, so we're gonna top this off. I love that in these parks. It's like such a wide range of terrain. Like all of a sudden we're in this forest with trees and beautiful bright green color. Our last kilometer up to the lake. I think we're coming out to our first view of the lake. It is starting to rain, a little bit harder. So I think we're just gonna get out of here. We have another, you know, like 6 miles to get back. So we'll chug along. It'll be great. I wish the sun was out, but still really cool. The glacier is huge, it's really cool. I'm actually really curious to know if we're gonna beat the other 3 or if they'll be us or if it'll be right at the same time, but I think we'll be able to kind of book it right now. Bye, Glacier. I do love that glacier. Josh took all of the camera stuff with him to go pick up Jeremy, Nate, and Kristen at their hike. They're almost done. Look how bad my nose is peeling. This is ridiculous. We got done with the hike, came to our Airbnb for the night, instantly got showers, so hence the towel on my head. And now I'm quite literally icing my feet. But when we did the 14-mile hike in Chile, my feet hurt after that. Then it had like a couple days of a break. And then today, I feel like they were like, what are you doing, girl? We just healed. You're killing us more. Also, listen to this wind. You'll literally hear it. Hold on. I feel like this Airbnb is gonna fall over. Everyone was right when they said that Patagonia is windy basically all the time. Be prepared for it. Bring a windbreaker, bring layers, but it's worth it. It's beautiful. Post hikes, sandwiches, and fries.
Bacon, ham, egg, cheese, lettuce, tomato.
And I got beef tenderloin sandwich with an egg, caramelized onions, and cheese. Look at that. Good morning from El Chalten. Unfortunately, today we are heading out of El Chalten. This morning we're gonna head to a coffee shop, grab some coffee for the 2.5-hour ride back, and then we're gonna be hopping on a plane and going to Buenos Aires for this evening and tomorrow until we are officially done with our trip to Chile and Argentina.
To end our trip, we flew to Buenos Aires and spent a day and a half walking and experiencing the city. We got some drinks the evening we arrived.
No way.
Grabbed some empanadas for lunch the next day.
It's like a South American sloppy Joe, but it's very good, but a lot better. Not quite as good as a Bolivian salteña. Shout out to Bolivia. All my Bolivian fans, leave some love in the comments.
Passed time by exploring the city even more.
We are in a massive bookstore that used to be a theater. Very artisan bookstore.
And ended our trip with a massive charcuterie board to share before starting the bumpy journey back home the next morning.
Just wanted to let you guys know that we are in Santiago, Chile, and my bag did not. Either it did not show up or somebody took it because we had to check it from Buenos Aires to Santiago. So now we are on the hunt for my carry-on bag. Then this morning our flight to Santiago got canceled. So all of us had to rebook with a different airline. We're in the Miami airport. We've since said goodbye to Jeremy, Nate, and Kristen, and my bag is still not with me. We went to an office where I filled out a baggage loss claim report, and they took a picture of my little tag. And after that, I was like, well, I don't know what to do. And so then I started looking online, and the airline that we took seems like one of the worst airlines you could possibly take anywhere. What most likely happened is that the bag is still in Argentina because somebody had to like look through it for some reason, and what they're gonna see if they find it is they're just literally going to send it straight to our address at home if they find it. Hi, me 10 months in the future, and spoiler alert, I did not get my bag back after submitting nearly 10 forms, getting 0 response from JetSmart, and learning that my wedding band was in my bag. However, I've accepted the fact that it is gone forever, and it has not changed my life in a negative way. So just had to throw it out there that I am all good and everything's okay because ultimately it happened for a reason. However, JetSmart, if you're watching, I wouldn't mind getting a response and maybe some compensation. The ball's in your court. Nothing says New Year's Eve like pickles, beer, and Takis.
Do you play football?
Oh.
I was Googling like 3.5 hours.
He's doing an imitation of someone we interacted with on this trip, and you have to guess who it is.
Okay. I don't think we got any video of that guy.
For context, there was a drunk guy last night screaming in the middle of the street, just like Nate was.